Coming this December to a theater near you, Hamlet. This rendition of the 1603 classic of Hamlet by William Shakespeare emphasizes the mythological and archetypal aspects that were relevant to the Elizabethan age. For the first time on the big screen, Shakespeare specifically illuminates these perspectives in order to create a world that speaks to a deep chord in all of us. This fast-paced spy thriller incorporates the ubiquitous nature of mythology, while emphasizing the motives that underlie human behavior.
Wow, wasn't that preview thrilling? For those of you Hamlet fans just tuning in, today we're taking an inside look at the ever-anticipated rendition of Hamlet. We have a lot planned for you today. First up, we have an exclusive interview with William Shakespeare, the lyrical playwright of Hamlet. Next, we'll be sitting down with the villain of the play, Claudius. And later on, we're going to have a talk with the fan favorite Hamlet about one of his best scenes. We're here with William Shakespeare. What's really different about this rendition of Hamlet?
I'm really looking forward to this new version because it'll help viewers of modern time to see some of the references that I included in the original versions. And these references were very easily recognized by people of the Elizabethan age. And I really tried to emphasize all the archetypes, such as, Gertrude being portrayed by the innocent, Hamlet being portrayed as the hero, and Claudius as the villain, and so on. The audience gets an inside view of the mythological parallels I incorporated, so that they'll better understand my portrayal of the various characters. The universal truths that I'm referencing to become very obvious throughout the play, and for example, the notion of good versus evil, that good's rewarded by life and evil's consequenced by death. The mythology behind divine appointment. It's just that a notion that the noble power is appointed to bring order to civil strife, and attempts to break this would result in social and political chaos. So these are the kinds of references that I really want to point out, just because in order for the audience to better understand these points and the timeless nature of Hamlet.
So what are some of the specific references that you make throughout the play?
I made a connection between the biblical allusions. I referenced more towards Adam and Eve, when Hamlet refers to Claudius as a serpent. And if you know then that biblical allusion, then the connection will be easier, it will be more easily made. And that Claudius, as a serpent, kills his father, and there's a parallel between that, the serpent acting as a devil, as well as Claudius.
What do you want the audience to keep in mind when they're viewing your play?
I would really like, in the play I incorporated all the different types of mythological and archetypal characters throughout the storyline. As I mentioned earlier, Ophelia is the innocent and Hamlet plays the Avenger, and now Hamlet, throughout the entire play, it's very literal, does try to find out who murdered his father. And during the time in which the original play was performed, these references were very common in literature. The audience knew what was being talked about, and it applied to them. I tried to mention in one of Hamlet's, his to be or not to be speech, there's a connection between the Hyperion versus satire, and I would really like the audience to keep an open mind regarding Hamlet's linguistic techniques in his soliloquies, as well as which archetype corresponds with each character.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us and answering those questions. We actually do have a quick snippet of the rehearsal between you and Hamlet, so let's take a look at that.
Okay, Hamlet, in this first soliloquy, make sure you really emphasize the mythological reference to the satyr and the Hyperion, because I really want the audience to try and grasp this.
Okay. Oh, that this too sullied flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against the self-slaughter. Oh God, God! How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of the world. Fie on it, fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2, so excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satire so loving to my mother.
Alright, stop, collaborate and listen.
Through the scene we just watched, it becomes very apparent the hatred that Hamlet has for Claudius. What are your key aspects of your character throughout the play?
Well, from the beginning, my character Claudius is characterized as the usurper or the unlawful lord or the unlawful ruler of Denmark. He does so by killing his brother in order to take over the throne. Through the archetypal lens, he's especially portrayed as the villain. Hamlet compares Claudius and his father to highlight the contrast between them. He refers to Hamlet as being an excellent king that was to this Hyperion to a satire. Hyperion was the god of sun and also light. He was a very successful god. Hamlet here is inferring that the late King Hamlet was well liked and now the throne is taken over by Claudius, who is a satire. A satyr is a half man, half beast that has horns of a goat. This comparison represents how Claudius is an ugly, cowardly man. It also shows how Hamlet's disgust towards Claudius. This mythological reference helps the audience better understand the characters.
Throughout the play, there's a lot of mythological references, not only in the specific scene. Do you mind commenting on those, Hamlet?
Yeah, so later in my soliloquy, I refer to the Queen of Niobe, and I foil her with my mother because she's a symbol of eternal mourning. Basically the story of the Queen of Niobe is she brags about her kids to the two deities, Apollo and Artemis, and they basically get tired of it, so they kill all of her sons and daughters, and then basically that's a symbol of receiving consequences for your actions, and then it refers to the human tendency to take vengeance.
Thank you for sitting down and talking to us. Now we will give you a special look at the ultimate reaction of 3 Hamlet fans after receiving special tickets to a preview of the play. Let's go take a look. So you guys just saw the exclusive preview of Hamlet. What do you think?
Well, I really liked the new perspective from the mythological lens, his emphasis.
What do you think?
I also liked it. It helped me better understand what was happening. Through the mythological references and archetypal comparisons, Shakespeare highlights that lying, deceiving, and seeking revenge always results in a tragedy.
Well, on that note, thank you for watching. See you again next time. Through the scene we just watched, the hatred between your character and Hamlet.
Get it together!
But
I don't know! I've been asking you for like a year! The Queen of Naomi was... Are you bloopers?
seriously.
Oh god, yeah, we don't have time.
Hecuba didn't show any.
Your arm motions too!
Hecuba.
Like it with the hat
Jenna's on
and
the floor.
everything.
I just say that before it goes off.
Hecuba.
And anyways, throughout the whole references.
That are not.
Yeah, do that. Be like, now.
We have a treat for everyone.
Like you too, Carly, I'm sure. Call specific people in the class. Especially you, Miss Scalero.
So, thank you. A special treat for everyone. The Hamlet Fan Club of America is here.
Through the mythological references and arc comparisons.
No, archetypal! And Hamlet's really hot.
And cute.
Okay.